friends, welcome back to my channel. Okay, today we have a very exciting video because I am finally trying out Jason Wu Beauty. I know that this launched, when did this launch? I feel like it launched in 2021, right? Maybe in 2020. I don't remember when this whole brand launched, but I have not picked up anything from him and tried anything quite yet. And then the site was having I can't remember if it was a 20% off or a 30% off sale for 4th of July, but I snagged some goodies and I cannot wait to try them out. So this is the look that I made right here for you guys. Before we get started, don't forget I upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday for you guys. And lately, I'm trying to do a lot more than that. If you like this video while you're watching it, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. It really does help my channel out. And other than that, if you're excited and you want to see my first impressions on some Jason Wu Beauty goodies, then let's go ahead and get started. So I did end up picking up one of his eyeshadow palettes. I ended up picking up this one right here, which is Flora 9 Matte Agave. So these are all matte shades, which I really don't have a all matte palette in my collection, do I? I don't think I do. I can't think off the top of my head that I have an all matte palette. Honestly, all three of the palettes that he has are very beautiful and I could have picked up any of the three, but I ended up going for this one because I have been kind of lusting over the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette, and that one is like $45 or $50. It's a pretty pricey palette, so I have not picked it up, and this one was only $14.99, and again, I got it on sale. So that was kind of like my reasoning behind getting this one versus the other two. The other two do have shimmer shades, but I went with the all matte one. I went ahead and primed my eyes with my MAC Paint Pot and then set it with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Powder. And we're just gonna do a really simple all matte look. I'm kind of regretting now not picking up one of his like single shadows that are they look really reflective and beautiful. And I was this close to picking one up. But I don't know, I don't really use those type of single shadows very often, so we're just gonna do an all matte look today. I don't do those very often on my channel. I'm going to start off with this one right here and put that into my crease. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how I feel about this shirt right here. I got it from Target. I saw Jessica Braun wearing it, and of course it looked adorable on her because every shirt she wears looks adorable on her. She's just adorable. And so when I saw it and I tried it on and I liked it in the store, in like the dressing room, but I don't know, the sleeves are like real puffy. It's just this like all the way down. But I like the color and I like the pattern, but I don't know how I feel about these fluffy sleeves, but I own it and I already washed it, so it's mine. So we're taking that tan shade and putting that into the crease. Oh, okay, that looks good. Not insanely pigmented to where like it's too much on the eye at first, but there is definitely some pigmentation there and it's blending out very beautifully. It's not getting too patchy or anything. Okay, I'm just going to go one below it now and just kind of do the same thing and deepen up the crease a little bit. Maybe I should have grabbed a smaller brush. Let's do that. Alright, so if you can see, there is like quite a bit of kick up in the pan, but I don't mind that. I just like to note it in case it's something that you don't enjoy in an eyeshadow palette. So we're going in with that deeper shade on a little smaller of a brush that is poking me in the eye. There we go. These are really beautiful and they're not getting patchy or anything yet, which is really nice. Even on my inner corner where I get a lot of patching with pretty much every eyeshadow formula I've tried, but this one's not, so that's really nice. It's very refreshing to see. Alrighty, now I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, and do these have shade names? Yeah, they don't. And we're going to pack that on like the middle and outer half of my eye. That kind of looks exactly the same as the other shade. I mean, I guess they all kind of are very, very similar tones, so maybe I should have known that. And now I'm gonna take the dark brown and put it on like the outermost part. I will say this shade is very deep and dark. I wish there was like a little bit darker of a shade that kind of matched this, but was, how do I say this? Like in between all of these. Like this is the next darkest shade and it's really not that dark. And then we have this one like deep dark shade. I wish there was a more like in between these tones and this one, if that makes sense. Like a middle kind of deep brown shade that wasn't as deep and dark as this. I don't know. That one's just very, very deep and dark, which I mean, it's fine, but I don't know. I just kind of wish we had a more middle shade to blend it all together. Now I'm going to go back into these two shades. I'm just going to mix them together and we're going to put that here and back up into the crease. And then I guess I'm gonna try to take this shade right here and put that on like the inner half and kind of make like an ombre eye. So it like gradiates from light to dark on my eyelid. That's looking good. I think I'm gonna leave it there for now. I'll probably add a brown wing liner. I'll probably do that. But let me go do the other eye, add the liner, and do a couple more things that I don't have from his collection, and I'll be back. So off camera, I added the wing liner with my Benefit Roller Liner in the brown shade. I went ahead and put my foundation and concealer on. I did my Tatcha Liquid, the Silk Canvas for my primer, and my foundation is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh. And then for concealer, I have on my Hailey's Beauty Rewind Concealer. So that is where we are at. The next product I have to try from Jason Wu Beauty is their Ready Set Matte Setting Powder. So I have actually heard only one review about this, and it was my friend Esty, but I think, if I'm 99% sure, I think she really liked this powder. So I'm excited to give it a go. Let's open her up. Oh, it came with a little puffy guy. I didn't realize that. Okay, well, I'll probably use this. I normally use a brush, but maybe I'll try the little puffy guy on my face. Also, I thought about setting under my eyes using my Jaclyn Cosmetics Brightening and Setting Palette because I've just been obsessed with that palette. I've been obsessed. I have used it under my eyes. I can't get this off. I've used it under my under eyes like every single day for 2 weeks straight. Oh, I probably should have showed you before I took that off, but it has like Woo. Oh, you can still see it. That's cute. That's a cute touch. But anyways, I decided not to because I want to see how this performs under my eyes. So this retails, I believe it retails for like $18, which is kind of pricey, not gonna lie, for like a drugstore Target brand. However, I did, spoiler alert, end up picking up their setting spray as well, and I bought this set online. They have like a set that saves you a little bit of money, and then again, it was on sale for the sale. So I don't remember how much I bought this set for, but I feel like that's kind of a lot for just a setting powder from the drugstore. I digress. We are going to tap some into the lid, and I'm going to use a brush for under my eyes, which I normally do. So I'm going to tap out my lines, get a little bit. I always look crazy when I set my under eyes. I've said this before, but I have contacts, and I am like terrified to get powder, eyeshadow, all of the above in my eyes. So anytime I do anything under my eyes, my lower lash line, anything like that, I kind of like freak out. Okay, it definitely oxidized a little bit. I can see. I don't love that, but I think it set my under eyes pretty nicely. They don't look too dry like right off the bat. So let's do the other eye. All right, and then let's take the little puffy guy and try to set my face. Not a puff kind of girl. Oh, okay. Oh, puffing up in my nose. I'm like breathing it in. I think the puff is what smells. Something smells like, not chemically, but just like factory kind of. I think it's the puff. I am gonna go for a brush on the other half of my face and see if I will like that. Alrighty, I actually think I do like this powder. Like it's definitely matte. Like there's hardly any sheen left in my face, which I mean, it claims to be a mattifying powder, but it doesn't look dry and it doesn't feel dry, maybe a tiny bit, but I also just like powdered the heck out of my face, so that kind of makes sense. But it doesn't look dry on my face. A lot of times, if a powder doesn't work out for me on my forehead and my nose and like my base of my T-zone, it will emphasize dryness and make my face like look drier than it is. And it's not doing that at all, which I'm really impressed with. It is a tiny bit over this little guy here, and like this little guy here, it's kind of making it a tiny bit dry. But honestly, that's like normal for powder. I think I do like this powder a lot. Okay, so that seemed to be a win. I'm excited about that. What next? I picked up a Honey Fluff by him. So these are supposed to be like multi-use sticks. I maybe should have used this before I powdered my whole face because I was gonna maybe try to use it as blush. He said you can use this on your lips, blush, or eyes. I obviously have my eyes, well, not completely done, but I have my eyes done. No scent, which is nice. So I'm gonna try to use this as blush, but let me go ahead and put on a powder bronzer really quickly, and then we'll try this out. I used my Maybelline City bronzer, and then I went ahead and did my brows. I just used the Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Brows Micro Precision Tinted Brow Gel. I just ran that through my brows. I have the shade Soft Brown. Actually, Jason Wu has eyebrow products, and had I not been gifted this whole new set from Charlotte Tilbury, I got 2 gels and 2 pencils, I think I would have picked some up, but I just got gifted this whole set. I didn't feel like I needed to try more new eyebrow products in the moment, so maybe in the future I will pick them up. But for the Honey Fluff, again, I got the shade Cannoli. This looks very beautiful. Let me swatch it. I actually haven't even swatched yet. Ooh, that looks stunning. And actually feels very creamy. When you first look at the tube, it just looks like a very matte tube, if you can see. So I wasn't expecting it to feel as creamy as it just did when I was swatching it. So how I'm going to apply it, I'm just gonna do it like I would any other cream blush. I'm really nervous that I already powdered my face. I probably shouldn't have done that, but here we are. So I'm just going to just rub a little bit on my hand and then take my airbrush, stipple brush like I normally do, and just stipple it on my cheeks. If these are multi-use sticks, I would assume you would be able to, I don't know why, but I would assume you'd be able to use it on a set face. I don't know, kind of looks like you can. I'm gonna get a little bit more and do the same thing. All right, I went a little overboard. When do I not go overboard with blush, honestly? So I'll have to tone that down a tiny, tiny bit. But this is working beautifully over a set face. Wow, like it's not lifting at all any of the foundation underneath or the powder or anything. It's not really getting patchy. It did a tiny, tiny bit over here, but I just kept like stippling it on and that went away. And it's beautiful. It looks like I put like a matte powder blush down on my cheeks, but I didn't. And this shade, this Cannoli shade is, oh my goodness, like stunning. It is like the perfect warm terracotta-y kind of orange, but still has a beautiful like blushy tint to it. This will be gorgeous in the fall and winter time with like my warm tone kind of eyes going on. I'm not really super reaching for this type of blush tone right now in the summertime, but this will be so pretty in the winter. I'm loving that, and that was so easy. It literally tapped on and blended it in like 2 seconds. I am really excited to try this on my eyes as well, and I'm going to try it on my lips a little bit later, but I have one other lip product I wanted to try before that. I am going to try to tone this down with my powder brush though, because I got a little crazy. Okay, yeah, that looks a little bit better, still a little bit crazy. It looks a little less intense in person than on camera, but that's okay. Actually, before we try the second lip, I'm gonna just finish up my eyes really quickly. I'm just gonna take this shade right here and run that along my lower lash line. I've been really into a simple lower lash line. I think I've said that in a couple of videos. Just taking like one eyeshadow and running it along there, not making it like too complicated or anything. It's been my jam recently. Okay, so the only other lip product I had to try was the Honey Fluff, and I ended up picking up the shade Woo Me. This just looks like a really beautiful, like light, really light nude shade. Okay, this looks like more of a whipped consistency. There's no scent to it, minus like a just makeup-y scent. I'm kind of surprised that these don't have scents to them. I don't know why. But yeah, this looks very light and very whippy and moussey. I feel like I should probably put a lip liner on with this. Again, Jason Wu has lip liners, and again, I was really close to picking one of them up, and then honestly, I couldn't pick a shade. I couldn't decide on a shade, and so I just didn't order one, which is kind of a lame reason to not order something, but that was the honest truth. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my Morphe lip liner in the shade Sweet Tea. This might be a little dark for this. This is very light. We'll try it. And then I'm gonna take the Honey Fluff and just kind of put that in the middle of my lips. See, I always do this with lip liner. When I try to line the outside of my lips with a darker shade and then put a lighter shade in the middle, this always happens. They just mix together. So I'm going to take this off and then just put the Honey Fluff on by itself without a lip liner, because you can't even really see the genuine color now that it just mixed in with the lip liner. So give me one sec. All right, I wiped it all off and we're just going to just put the Honey Fluff on by itself. It probably won't look right because it's a very, very light shade, but we're just gonna see. I don't know how I feel about this. It's a very drying formula. It like doesn't feel good on my lips right now. And because it is such a light shade, it's really emphasizing the dryness in my lips. I want to be clear, I liked this combination. I liked the combination. I just wanted to show you what the shade looked like on its own. Like if I were to wear this out in public, I would go ahead and put a lip liner under it, but I just wanted to show you it on its own. But yeah, this like, I don't know, it's like, it's a weird consistency. Like I said, it is very moussey. It feels drying, but it's not like a liquid lipstick or anything like that. I don't know, I don't love this. I'm glad I only picked up one. I almost didn't. I mean, I like the shade. I think it's pretty. It's a nice like light nudie shade. It looks good, I feel like, with my fair skin tone, but yeah, I don't love that formula. But also I think paired with a lip liner and then maybe putting a gloss on top would maybe help. I'm not going to do that today, but for future reference and trying this in the future, that could be a nice option. I'm gonna take this off and then we're gonna put the cannoli shade on my lips. All right, I'm not gonna use a lip liner or anything with this. I'm just gonna put it straight on. So again, this feels very drying, but I actually really, really love the color, and it's definitely, it feels better on the lips than the Honey Fluff. This is the Hot Fluff. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's very beautiful, and I honestly love the idea of being able to use this on my eyes, lips, and cheeks and do a complete monochromatic look. I am really, really into monochromatic looks, or just having everything coincide and go together. I'm like a freak when I pick out my blush shade and it has to match like everything. So I think that that's really nice that you can make a really monochromatic look. I'm going to go finish on my makeup. I'm gonna put some mascara on, some highlight, and I think that's all. And then we will be back to try the setting spray. I went ahead and applied my Oma Drama Bomb mascara and then my MAC Cosmetics Soft and Gentle highlight. The last item we have to test out is his Magic Spell setting spray. This is supposed to be a mattifying setting spray. I am not a huge fan of mattifying setting sprays anymore. Really, honestly, because my skin has become way less oily over the last couple of years. The last like year and a half, almost 2 years-ish, my skin has just been getting kind of drier and drier. So I tend to go for more hydrating setting sprays, but we are going to give this a go. It is nice to have a mattifying option every once in a while if maybe you have a more dewy foundation, or you know you're going to be out in the heat and you want your makeup to stay matte and stay on all day long. You're going to shake it up. And then I'm going to test the mister. Ooh, seems like a very fine mist. Okay, let's try it out. Okay, so the mist felt nice. It was a tiny bit aggressive, but it was a fine mist, if that makes sense. I do have a couple splotches. I have no idea if you're gonna be able to see them. I do have a couple splotches of like where it jetted out at me, but usually you can just fix that with your sponge and just like lightly press down, and that usually goes away. I don't notice it like leaving those dots. You know how sometimes setting sprays can do that and leave dots and then it like ruins your makeup. I don't notice that. It's definitely a matte finish though. Like it did not add anything extra, any extra glow to my skin at all, which I actually like. Like I said, I think it's nice to have a setting spray in your arsenal that does that doesn't alter the finish at all. So far, I mean, it's dried down. It doesn't feel drying on my skin or anything. It kind of almost doesn't really even feel like I sprayed anything on my face, honestly, which I like. So really quickly, I'll run down through the products. I actually really do like this. I think that this will be a nice companion to the couple of single shadows that I do own that I need to reach out and use a little bit more often. I think this look is very beautiful. It got a tiny bit patchy on me, but nothing crazy. They blended together nicely. There was nice pigmentation. I do, like I said, wish it had one more shade closer to this, like in between all of these. It just goes like light, dark. You know what I mean? The setting powder I actually really like. I like that it wasn't super drying on my face at all. That I noticed. I am really excited to keep testing this out. This I love. I love this. But honestly, a lot of the times I've heard people saying that the Hot Fluffs were like his magic product that everyone seems to really love. I have a feeling I might pick this up in more shades. I love it on the cheeks, and I actually do like it a lot on the lips as well. I didn't love this. It was just very, very drying. I don't know. I may use it, I may not. We'll have to wait and see. And then so far so good with this setting spray. And that was it, you guys. That was me trying out Jason Wu Beauty for the first time ever. I feel like 4 of the 5 products I seem to genuinely like off the bat, my first impressions. I'm excited to see what else Jason Wu continues to launch. Hopefully he'll eventually get into like bronzers and blushes. I know you can use this as a blush, but it's not a blush, you know what I mean? So I would love to see him get into like powder or cream, bronzers, blush, maybe highlights. I don't think he has any of those. So let me know down below if you've tried Jason Wu Beauty yet. And if you have, what are your thoughts on it? Do you like it? Do you not? I say this in a bunch of my videos, but I always love hearing from you guys down below in the comments. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. You're awesome and I love you. Please subscribe if you have not yet, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye guys.